Happy Thursday. Y'all, today we are doing a little bit of a house tour, a little home tour. I do this usually when I have decorated for a new season. So we haven't done it since Christmas, I don't think, because I did not do it. I don't think I did a tour after Christmas. But I thought I would share with you all my patriotic decor. I'm really happy with it this year. I think it turned out so cute. I've even made a few changes, a couple of small changes of like some things that have been for a long time. So I'm really excited about that. I'm trying to just slowly change things over as I find new thrift items, trying to change things that are farmhouse. The black and the white farmhouse style. I'm not really into that as much anymore. When we bought the house, that I was crazy about that. And I'm losing my interest in that style. And so I've been slowly trying to trade things out, and swap things for more of a cottage core, still a little rustic, still a little bit of a farmhouse vibe, but just not the same type of farmhouse style. So anyways, that's what I've been doing. And of course, we have the painted trim in green, as well as the beadboard in my kitchen, which is all new from the last time I did a house tour. So lots of changes. All right. And there's a couple of thoughts that I have about some things that I want to change. And I'm going to ask your all's opinion about one here in a little bit. Okay. Um, so when you hop on, say hey, let me know you're watching. Hi, Deborah. Hello, Dorothy. Hi, Stacy. Hey, Lori. Hello, Jackie. Happy Thursday. Hi, Deborah. Hey, Linda. Hello, April. Hi, Jamie. Hey, Debbie. Hello, Danae. Good to see you all today. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you all enjoy this little tour of my home, a small portion of my home. I really only ever show the kitchen and the living room, which is pretty much the only area that I really decorate. I did swap out a few things in my hallway, but that's it. I didn't do anything in my kitchen or in my bathroom. I left all of that the same. And of course, my bedroom's a hot mess and I don't touch it most of the time. So, hi, Cindy. Hello, Trish. Good to see you all. Hello, Cameron on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Kathy. Hey, Carol. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Gloria. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. All right, so we are standing in my entryway. It's not really an entryway, but it's my kitchen. This is the door here that I come in and out of. We come in and out of all the time. This is really the only door that we use right here. So you notice the green trim. I have a new curtain up. So all of that is stuff that I did when we added the beadboard in here. So when we come in, this is where we come in, and this is the kitchen, and it's an open concept, opens right into the living room. So I'm going to flip you all around and show you all. I know, Diane, it really is, isn't it? I think it's because we can shut the door and nobody has to see our bedroom. But you're right. It is the last to get the attention, honestly. My bedroom hasn't been touched. I painted it when I moved in, and we haven't done anything. We have not done anything to the bedroom since we moved in. Um, so, okay. Hi, Donna. Let me turn you around, and I'm not really sure how this is going to work, if y'all are going to be backwards or not. But I'm not really sure which, see, this is the first time I've done this, I think, on this app. Okay. That is very, hang on, let me change that. Okay. Are y'all backwards? Does that look backwards to y'all? It's backwards to me, but maybe if it's backwards to me, then that means it's not backwards to you all. But I never can remember. Okay, Gina says it's backwards. And it may be backwards. I don't know if I can make it not be backwards. It gives me so many different camera options. Okay, let's go with it. We'll see what happens. All right, so when you walk in, this is my little entryway, or whatever you want to call it. So this is where we walk in into the kitchen, and y'all help me decide. So I feel as though it's taken on a little bit of a shaker vibe, which I'm not mad at all. Um, and I love, so you can see my, yeah, you're right, Larissa. Um, so you can see my bead board, which is all new. All of this bead board is new here. And all of the trim that's painted green. And I love the green. I think it looks so good. This table has been here. I've had this table for years. I would like to get a different table or change that table up. I'd like to put a different pedestal on it because that one just looks so, farmhouse, and I don't really want that. I want something that looks a little bit more antique, a little bit more vintage. So I'm hoping to replace that pedestal, but we'll see. So here is the table, and this is what I've done with the table, and I really am happy with it. Oh, good, Dana. So a lot of these items are thrifted. Probably all of them are thrifted. So this, I did a little blue and white vase, and I tend to do a lot of the same things, but I switched it up by changing the vases. So typically I have a white vase here. So I did the blue and white vase and then a white vase or pitcher here. And then I did one of my brown little pitchers here. And then these are just some faux flowers, some vintage flags, and this little duck, which came from Hobby Lobby. And it was $10.99. It is backwards, isn't it? It is backwards. Let me see. I don't think there's a way I can change it though. Because oh, yeah, I don't know, y'all. I don't know how to change it, so we're gonna have to go with it. It's gonna annoy me, but we're gonna have to go with it. Okay, so I got a vintage bowl here. I grabbed this actually yesterday at our local thrift store, and I've just got some vintage faux strawberries sitting in here. And of course, it's just a really pretty bowl that's got a little bit of blue detail, and the blue is kind of a little bit iridescent. We've got a few different thrifted plates over here. All of these are thrifted and just kind of a mishmash, really. And then this is just a piece of fabric that's been torn into the shape of a napkin. Um, and I just set it underneath these small little plates here. So I think that turned out very cute. It looks very patriotic. Michelle, you need to get it. It's $10.99, and I don't know if it's ever on sale or not. It's probably not because it says gift on it, but it's so cute, and I thought it was really cute sitting on the table. Over here, y'all need to help me decide. So I have these two vintage pictures right here. And here's where you can see that you are, in fact, backwards. But I've got these two pictures right here. And I love them. When I put one on the wall, I thought, ooh, I love that. I love that there. But I'm not sure if I like the two of them or if it should be just one. So y'all help me decide, should I take the top one down or should I leave them both up there? I'm not 100% sure. Um, Also, I just thrifted some new curtains that I'm going to be putting up over here on these windows. So that's going to add a little bit of additional height on top of the windows. Of course, there's not going to be any additional height on top of this window or on top of this door. But I can't decide if I like both of those or if it seems too top heavy. I'm not 100% sure. Now, on my little key holder, I did have these copper spoon, whatever these things are. I had those up here where the pictures are. So I took those down and I hung the big one here. I also hung this enamel kettle that I have on here. I just added a little bit of jute and hung it. And then I've got a vintage tea towel and then one of these little cake tester broom things. And that's it. And so the stuff at the bottom helps to sort of balance what's on top. But of course, because I did the two pictures, the top seems a little top heavy to me. Cynthia says she likes both. Kathy likes both. Dorothy says just one. Rosemarie likes it. A lot of you all say that you like it. So we'll see. So that's the kitchen. That's all I did in the kitchen. Well, I mean, in this area. Jackie says use one. Okay, so over here, of course, you all are backwards, so bear with me. Um, I've got my KitchenAid. I thought about taking my KitchenAid and putting it away, but I don't have a place for it. Thought I might, but actually, where I thought I might have a spot, it's full. So I decided, well, I'll just leave my KitchenAid out. I typically put some kind of dish towel or something on my KitchenAid, just kind of hanging over it. So this is a napkin, and this is actually an ammo bag. But I mean, it's patriotic, you know. And then this is a sign that we made from Dollar Tree, just a little bit of a couple of things there, some little thrifted items. Honestly, the kitchen is the leftovers, y'all. Um, Hi, Sandy. My Hutch is my top priority, so I usually focus on it first and foremost, and then whatever I have left goes everywhere else. Ignore my fridge, y'all. I mean, it's got all of Griffin's stuff on it, and it's a fridge, you know. But here in this little corner, I'm not 100 on this. I may end up making some changes here. Um, but all I did, I always have this crock. I always have these cutting boards here. And so I found this cute little stand at a thrift store. Um, and I just put a couple little bottles on top of it. I'm thinking about adding a flower in here, maybe like a tulip or something. So that's all I did there. I stacked a couple of plates right on top of the stove, just on the back. And let me spin you around and bring you over here. And then I wanted to do something in this corner. I haven't really done much here lately, but I am really into coffee recently and I'm drinking it every single day. So I didn't want to put the coffee maker away. So here's what I did. I have a little cutting board here. This is just a thrifted cutting board. And I just put the coffee maker and this 1776 jar right here, this little vintage tea towel and a milk glass mug. And then another little pitcher and some tulips, just, you know, simple. But it's a cozy little spot. Cute and cozy. Okay, so coming into the living room, y'all, this is driving me crazy that it's backwards, and I wish I could fix it. I just don't know how. Hang on, here we go. There we go. Oh, lovely. Okay, we fixed it. All right, so y'all have seen this. Of course, I was live with you all and we decorated this. And I have made very few changes, but I have made a couple of changes. Um, but this is how all of it looks. It turned out so good. So let's just walk through the hutch really quick. Of course, the idea for this was collected and vintage. Okay. Um, so I wanted it to feel like I've just been collecting things and they're all sort of these vintage items. And it really turned out, I just absolutely love it. It turned out so much like how I wanted. And so we've just got all kinds of different things. Now, some items, like for instance, these are our sparklers boxes. These are all handmade. We have the sparklers um, boxes, the templates on our website you can get for free. And then if you're a Celebrate and Create Paper Club member, then you get the sparklers covers in the Celebrate and Create Paper Club. And so that's what we did those with. And so then we just have several, just all kinds of different things, y'all. When you're decorating for the 4th of July, you can do so much. Just find things that are in red, blue, and white, and you can decorate with it. It doesn't even really have to be specifically meant to be patriotic. So lots of books. Go to thrift stores and get books that are red, white, and blue, because I've used so many this year. Um, this was kind of a cute little game that I found that was red, white, and blue. And of course, but it's just cute. It's cute and it doesn't have to be specifically Americana, but it is red, white, and blue. And so it works. I already had these lanterns. We've got this vintage flag here. This crock has been here in this hutch. The bowl, the wooden bowl back there has been in here. These bowls here, they've been in here. So it's good to have some pieces that aren't necessarily patriotic, but they're just those base pieces that help to kind of make it look complete. Of course, I've got my Abe Lincoln. I printed one for me nice and large, but I just love him so much. And remember when you're decorating, y'all, to use layers. You can see how many different layers we have going on. We've got here in the front, and then we have this, and then we've got our frame, and you can see we've even got something on the frame, and then we've got stuff behind there. It's good to have layers. It's also good to have blank space. So it's a good, healthy combination of both, okay? So you can see we've got like some empty space up in here. We got a little empty space right here. We're keeping some empty space, but then still working in all of those different layers. Let me answer these questions. Jackie says, just thrifted an antique Cracker Jacks 10 and no dents $8. Wow, Jackie, that's amazing. It's a great price. Gina says, where do you store all the holiday things when not being used? In totes, Gina, mostly in totes. Now, some items that aren't necessarily strictly holiday, or strictly that specific season. So like the lanterns, the books, the plates, different things like that, I will store. I have a shelf in my basement and I just leave them open on the shelf, and I'll just stack them up organized on the shelf. And then the other stuff goes into a tote that I know I'm only going to use for um, the 4th of July. Then it'll all go into a tote. So that's it. Y'all, these are on the website. These are available for purchase. There is a set of 4 of those on the website that y'all can grab. I think that we still have the 250, so this is also available. on the website. Of course, the quills, these are available on the website, as well as the cordite freeze box. You can see how cute that little setup is right there with just some blue and red books. So cute. Of course, we've also got some brown bottles on the website that you can grab as well. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there was anything else here in this setup that you could grab from the website. I think not. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so over here, we've got a couple of different things going on. So on the top of the shiplap wall, I did this rectangle frame, which I use up here a lot because it just adds a little something extra. Again, it's all about those layers that makes it feel complete. And it gave me a place to put my eagle, and it just sort of works perfect up there. The eagle up there hanging on the corner of that frame. I did end up doing a little bit of sticky tack up there to keep that frame from falling. And of course, we've got the 1776 and the USA. I don't know for sure if they're all available, but we did have them, and I know that we still have some. But I don't know for sure which ones, if we have the 76 and the USA and not the 250, or I don't know what combination we have, but I know that we've got them. We also have these with just the 4 as well. So you could use the 4 also. This picture, so this frame I actually picked up at Anything Goes the last time we were there. And Patty gave me this image, which I think we have one that's going to be going on the website. The image doesn't, it didn't fit the whole piece. So what I ended up doing is, this is ribbon right here. It's a piece of ribbon and another piece of ribbon. And I just sort of stacked those so that it looked complete and filled the space, filled the frame. But I liked the addition of the wood frame up there. It adds a little bit of warmth. And then we've just got our brass candlesticks. So down here, I just did my crock and added a couple of vintage flags inside the crock. I already had the stool and the crock with the flowers. I just kept that as is. We added a red blanket to the chair. And then, of course, I've got my flowers in there. So, and I just sat that little basket. It was inside the hutch, but I love it so much and I wanted to use it. So I decided to just sit it there. Okay, so here's the question that I want to ask. All right. Oops, sorry, y'all. So in my kitchen, I have the green trim. The original plan was that I would take the green trim and carry it in here, all the way in here, paint the shiplap wall, paint all of the baseboards, the doors and the door frames, all of that. I would paint the green. But let me turn you back around so I can talk to you for a second. Okay. But here's the thing. I really want blue. And I just can't get the blue out of my mind. So we went with the green in there, which I love it. I think it is beautiful, but I cannot get the blue out of my mind. And when I'm talking about blue, I'm talking about sort of a country blue, kind of like the color of this book, okay? Not a baby blue, more of a grayish country blue. I can't get it out of my mind, okay? And so I am considering painting the trim in the living room and the shiplap wall in blue. So here's the question. What do y'all think? Let me flip you back around. I don't remember which one I had. Okay. So you can see, looking at the kitchen, okay, there is no green right here. The closest green is that window. When I paint the blue trim, it's gonna go and it's gonna end right here. And then over here, and of course we've got the separation of the floor. Over here, when I paint the blue trim, it's gonna stop right there. It is not gonna butt up against any of the green. So what do y'all think? Is that okay to do a different color in here and in here in the living room? To me, and so this is something Mom and I were talking about because I did a chat GPT and had it show me what it would look like, and the blue looks incredible. Um, and I'm like, not vintage, historic homes, that's what they did, right? Every the trim was different in every room. Um, and even to this day, they do historic homes that way. Well, this house isn't historic, but it's from 1940s. Um, and I don't know. I think it could look good. What do y'all think? Tell me what you think. Bridget says blue. So let me know what y'all think. All right, I'm going to turn you back around. Okay, so moving into, this is where I have made a change. So first of all, I changed the lamp. Dorothea says go for it. The lamp was green, and so I switched it out. This is a lamp that I thrifted for really cheap at Anything Goes. It might have even been outside, y'all. It still works. And I went with it. I cleaned it up. I couldn't get this scuff out, which I did not try, like what's it called? Barkeeper's Friend. I did not try that. But anyways, this lamp has like these blue specks. Can y'all see those blue specks on it? It's just really pretty. I kept the same lamp shade. And then here on this wall, okay, y'all are all saying you think it would look good. Okay, here on this wall, I had like a black metal distressed basket type thing that was here. And I've been getting really sick of that because it's really hard to decorate because I never know what to put inside that basket. It's just odd. So it looked really cute, but again, it was more farmhouse and I'm moving away from that. So I found this shelf for $3 score at Goodwill, and it works perfectly here. Now, I'll be honest with you, when I first put it up, I thought this is too small. But after I decorated it, it works perfectly. So we did a little lace doily that was going to go on the website, but now it's on my wall. So um, and it's got blue and red in it. It's got some other colors in it too, but you don't pick up on that. Um, and then I hung the other spoons that were on the kitchen wall. And then I've got just a couple of other things up here, these little blue and red little toy irons and my brass duck. And then I just put some flags, some vintage flags in my baskets. I want to change out the picture, but I just haven't found the right thing yet. All of the pillow covers came from Amazon. If y'all are interested in the links, I will be happy to share links to that. But they all came from Amazon. I already had these two here. And I use this one here like all year round practically. But it's probably about time I replace those actually. But anyways, I already had these, and so I just added those. And then I bought these because I wanted something that was red, white, and blue. Um, And I think these are really pretty. Now, they're not exactly the same color as the blue, but they look really great when you put them together like that. It's just so cute. Now, I haven't gotten a chance to do much with this table, and I'm not happy with this table. And this is where I think I want to make a sign to put here on the table. So I just got a couple of those brown bottles up there for now. Um, and I'm gonna do something else there. I just don't know what yet. Um, Over here where the TV is, I've just got a couple little things, a couple of thrifted books. This is the little, we made this using the napkins from our napkin collection. Just a little plant with a flag, and then this little thrifted Liberty Bell. How you're able to keep decor over your couch is amazing. Anytime I attempt to decorate that space, someone wipes it out with their arms. Oh, really? Huh. Nope, that doesn't ever happen. Okay, over here, I just got again a stack of books, cute little brass lamp. We did make these one year. These little blocks, these are just Dollar Tree blocks and some napkins. And a little bell. Down here, there's just a combination of randomness down here. So it's a bushel basket with some green coming out. There are the shoe stretchers are in there, and some spindles are in there. A tobacco basket's in there. It's sort of been the same for a long time. And then I just added those little firecrackers in there. Thank you, Dorothea. So that's one of those spaces, doesn't get changed very often because it's kind of, again, it's like the least important to me. I put the prettiest stuff where it's the most important to me, and the hutch is my favorite spot. Oh, I forgot to show you all the baskets on top. You all saw the big basket. This is the other basket that I have, and they're both lifted up. So I've got some things under there, some pieces of wood underneath those baskets to lift them up so that you can see them better. And I actually have a couple of blankets that I don't use very often in that big basket. So it's another great way if you don't have a lot of space. It's a great way to utilize some space by putting big baskets up on top of things. It looks really great, and it also is a great place to store things. And I use that, for instance, in my kitchen. I have a basket over here in the corner, and that basket has table linens in it. So it's just a great place to store the table linens. And I like the way it looks. I like the added warmth that the basket gives. Over here in this corner is the last place I have to show you. I just did a stack of books. Again, gotta have the books, y'all. They're so great to decorate with. We do have some book stacks coming for you all, coming on our website. Vintage lunchbox. I've got a little crock here, and I've put my wood quills inside this little crock with a little bit of greenery, and that's it. And my little brass candlestick. I think that's everything. So here is a quick little pan. And that's it. Now, let me show you. I haven't done much with this, but I've done just a little bit. So this is my gallery wall, which I'm wanting to redo. So I'm slowly swapping things out little at a time as I find things that work. So I still have a long way to go, but pretty much all of this I want to swap out. I just recently added that basket, and I recently added the washboard. Of course, I put this 4 up. I removed a picture that I had up there and put that up, and just added a couple of things that I had left over. So it's not much, but I am going to try and replace all of this at some point, because you can tell it has that very farmhouse feel, which I'm sort of over at this point. Okay. Thank you, Dorothea. Let's see. Why do you call the wooden thread spindles quills? That is what the manufacturer calls them. They're quills. That's what they're called. So they're like thread quills. And they were used in old sewing factories. And we have lots of them on the website. We have lots of different colors. We also now have some that have thread on them. And we have them in red, white, and blue. So grab those while you can, because we probably won't restock the red, white, and blue ones. But we've got the wooden quills, the empty ones in multiple different colors. So we've got the red, white, and blue. We've also got the natural, the thin, skinny natural, and the natural with red. This one doesn't have the red. And we have green. We've got yellow, black. I think that's everything. Green, yellow, and black. Those are the colors that I haven't told you. Yes, green, yellow, black. Blue, white, red, natural, and natural with red. So it's kind of like the natural it used to be red, but the paint's worn off so much that now it's kind of natural with a little bit of red. Okay, so that's it, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed this little tour. I have had fun decorating, and I will be leaving this up for quite some time, probably until I decorate for fall. So it'll be up for a while. And then in September, probably I will decorate for fall. So I'm going to keep it up for Memorial Day and for 4th of July and for Labor Day, I think. So I think that's the plan. But you never know. I might get sick of it and I might change it. So, all right, y'all. Carol, dinner was really great. Those scones were so good. The boys absolutely loved them. So y'all need to give them a try for sure. It was very good. It was nice to be able to sit down and have dinner together, because we haven't gotten to do that in a long time. All right, y'all. I love you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.